Hey guys, Austin here with Hope to Cope, checking in today to remind you that you are a miracle and you have a purpose. So I came up on the mountain today to find a message, to just be, to listen. And there's several messages that came while I was out here. One is that oftentimes when we're about to get profound messages, there's opposition that comes. And sometimes the opposition comes from your best friends. So like I've got my dogs, and dogs are known as man's best friend. And yet every time when I come up on the mountain, well, most times when I come up on the mountain, I sit down and I start to take some deep breaths to get quiet and focused on the message that's coming. And it's at that time that the dogs bombard me. They start licking my face, they start jumping all over me, and they become a distraction from what my focus is. And I have to persist through that. And then when I'm here long enough, then they leave me alone and they go and play behind me and they do what they're going to do, and I can get the message. So sometimes in life, you may have that same experience. You want to have a spiritual experience. You want to have a learning opportunity. You want to meditate. You want to become one with your experience. But you have all these distractions that seem to be pulling you out of it, all this opposition. So stay focused on what you want. Persist through it, and you will get to that experience. And so today, what my experience was is I'm sitting here next to this big tree, and there's this little yucca plant right down there next to the base of the tree. And in the front of the tree, there's no plants or anything growing out in front of it. All the rain, had a ton of rain, and so there's a runoff, and it just washes everything away. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. There's nothing there in front of the tree. And then as I walked around the tree, I found this growth behind the tree. And the tree is providing a support so that those plants can grow. And so the message that I got today is this, from the yucca plant, that sometimes in order for us to grow, we have to grow in a place where we are supported. Because if we were just on the hillside, water, the elements of life could just wash us away, and we would never get the footing so that we could actually grow and spread out our roots. And so oftentimes we have to grow next to something that's much bigger than us, and that becomes our support as we grow. But if we stay there too long, that same thing that's supporting us can also stunt our growth. And so we've got to know when to move away from that support, move out of the shade, so to speak, so that we have more space to deepen our roots, strengthen our roots, and become a support to other seeds that are germinating and starting to grow. And in life, it's not just one and done either. Sometimes you may move out from under the shade, you strengthen your roots, you grow them a little bit stronger, but then you've got to go back to the support. And you go back and you get more nourishment, more strength, and then you go out again and you get stronger still, and then you come back to the support. And there's no shame in that. It's okay to grow. That's how this life really is. And I was thinking about my second son, when he was born. His lungs weren't fully developed yet. So he was breathing on his own, but they put oxygen on him to help assist him while his lungs grew even stronger. So he came out, he was breathing on his own, he went on oxygen, and then after a while, then they would take the oxygen off and let him breathe on his own again, see how they were functioning, let them strengthen a little bit more, put some oxygen back on. It's like the training wheels when you're learning to ride a bike. There's so many things in this life where it's not just, okay, good luck, but it's a growing process. And so as you are growing into your true self, as you're growing into your potential, just know that it's not going to happen overnight. Just like the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. When it gets into the cocoon, it doesn't just immediately turn into a butterfly. It goes from this gooey form, and it starts to form and then falls apart, and starts to form and falls apart, and starts to form and falls apart back into goo over and over and over again until it gets past the 51 percentile. And then once it's over 51% formed, then it finishes the rest of the way. And so in your journey, be kind to yourself. Be one with your journey. Allow yourself to be connected. Know what you need in this moment. As you are connected with you instead of disconnected, looking at yourself as a spectator, judging yourself for everything you do. It's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, you should have done something different. Oh, you're going to feel that tomorrow. Instead, be with yourself. Be one with you. Experience it to the fullest. This life is meant to be experienced, not observed. And so become one with you. Feel what you're feeling right now in this moment and ask, what do you desire? What do you desire right now in this moment? Your true desire will guide you along your path. It will guide you along the flow, and it will guide you into who you truly are. And you will achieve your potential, but you've got to be connected to yourself. And so be with yourself, love yourself, sit with yourself, and know that your journey is beautiful. Your journey is perfect. You have the support when you need it. And there's also times to go out and try it on your own and grow and become a support to others. That's part of the journey. You are a miracle. You do have a purpose. Thank you, thank you, thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for being part of the Hope to Cope family. Thank you for all that you're doing in your life and in your world. I see you, and I thank you for being you. Remember, I'm here at Hope to Cope every day, checking in to give you a message of hope and to remind you that you are a miracle and you have a purpose. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like it, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.